This video is brought to you by G Fuel. Use promo code KING to get 10% off your next order. To another video, and in this video we're going to be featuring some battles from my stream. This is the Ultra Premier Classic. The team I'm going to be using is the first team is going to be featuring Shadow Wall Rain here with Powder Snow, Icicle Spear, and Earthquake. Shadow Wall Rain is pretty busted. It's obviously that and regular Wall Rain are the two of the 5 best Pokemon in the meta. To protect against it, I'm going to be using Escavalier and Sylveon. And basically, this was a team suggested by Lunch Money Lou. Who's a very strong battler, frequent person in my Twitch chat, and someone I coached a few times as well. The concept of this team is to protect against Obscune in the back with Escavalier and Sylveon. This team does struggle against like an Escavalier lead. And then there's another second team that I'm gonna also be showcasing right after these maps. But let's go ahead and get started. Actually, I probably need to speed this up here, so let me just do that really quickly here. All right, so we're gonna have Wall Rain against Escavalier, which is obviously one of the worst leads I could see. But honestly, Sylveon does not have that bad of a matchup against Escavalier since it does resist the counters. I was a turn behind, but I did get it back, and now I'm a turn behind again. So unfortunately, because I'm a turn behind, I lagged by 1 turn. I have to give up the counter. So now I'm 1 behind. So I basically throw, and actually, okay, that's weird. That was just like the animation coming afterwards. So I'm still only 1 turn behind. So I'm gonna do 5 then throw, or 4 then throw. I guess I should have did 5 just to be safe, but I end up giving up another counter. And I'm gonna let it go. Obviously I have to let it go at this point in time, and I'm gonna farm down with Sylveon, and they actually come into their own Wall Rain here. I get an extra charm through, mostly because of the timing when they threw, and my goal here is to try to catch. So I do 2, and then I pause for 1 second because it's 4 Power Stones for the second one, and I end up catching the Icicle Spear. But this is a little bit confusing by the opponent, to be honest here. When they threw here, I was like, what? Are they already at 1? But then they Icicle Spear here. I think they were worried that I was going to beat them to the EQ. I'm not entirely sure there. But I actually got distracted by my dogs there. And I missed a couple bubbles, but they end up throwing another Icicle Spear. I'm not too sure there, but anyways, I throw another Icicle Spear at this Escavalier, and I should be in a very good position here. And honestly, I made a mistake here. I should have threw the Icicle Spear, then switched, because they weren't going to get to the Moonblast or the Side Shock beforehand, and I'm at risk of not being able to get to the move. But I end up just farming it down, so it didn't make too big a difference, and I throw an Icicle Spear at this 1 HP. So a very actually mirror team, but I was able to overcome it because Escavalier is very tough for this team composition. Pretty interesting. Obviously the back line is a little bit weak to fire. Probably not the most common thing. It seems also weak to like Typhlosion, especially well, if you're using Shadow Wall Rain. Okay, there's a Nidoqueen. It's 100% Nidoqueen, and I go into Escavalier. But you can see how annoying this matchup is with Wall Rain, just because Wall Rain is like super tanky. So I end up shielding here, and then I try to do 6 more, but then there was some lag on their side, so I decided to double up and throw the drill run. I'll see what they want to do, and I believe I do 1 more then throw. They get another one through as well, which is fine. And they get another Powder Snow as well, which is okay. I think they bait me here, but this is okay because I actually have a pretty good Escavalier. I think I have a rank 21 Escavalier, so I actually end up just barely surviving it. My other one definitely would not have survived that, and they come into... So at this point in time, I just sack Sylveon because I really don't need it. The Sylveon is obviously a liability against Nidoqueen. I think Trevenant Wall Rain core is really strong. Like Obscune obviously breaks it, but Wall Rain and Trevenant can still put up a fight against Obscune, so it's not necessarily super clear, and then I end up just switching out here, and this is pretty much game over at this point in time. I expect them to come back Needle Queen. I have a little bit of energy advantage. I believe they actually we had like a turn difference there, so they should be at the move now. Yeah, there you go. So they basically got to complete the poison jab just because it took me a turn to switch, as it should in the game. And I do expect them to catch, so I actually decided to powder snow this all the way down. But I was in a good position regardless, because I would live another poison fang and get a few more powder snows in regardless, and as well get off the icicle spear. So the worst case scenario was that they would catch there, but I anticipated the catch. But good counting by my opponent. All right, we're into this third game here. So Walrein has a very good matchup against Swampert. It's actually like some Swamperts in Ultra Premier Classic might decide to run Sludge Wave instead of Earthquake, just to have the better matchup against Trevenant. Not that the Sludge Wave KOs, but it certainly does some good chip damage. They should be at double Hydro Cannon. They decided to Sludge Wave me here. The Earthquake obviously did much more damage. Was able to throw the move without them getting a Powder Snow in, which was nice for me. And they come into their own Escavalier, which is obviously very problematic for me. And I'm able to get the counter through, mostly because of the turn difference on the switch. They throw the Drill Run. I think I throw 5. 3, 4, 5. This is like one before they get to the next Drill Run. I do expect them to win CMP because they do have a high rank one. Very lucky for me to get another counter through there. So I'm still 1 behind at this point in time because of my slow switch. And I believe I throw 6. This should be again 1 before they make it to a move. And they come into Dragonite here, and unfortunately I have 2 answers to Dragonite, which is really unfortunate for them. They do land the Hurricane here, but this is pretty much game over at this point in time. And they come into Swampert here, hoping that I throw, but this is pretty much GG. They weren't that close to the Hydro Cannon either. Maybe like they should have been 3 away. I definitely get 2 charms off beforehand. So I think this is game number 4. But I'm really liking this team. I think it's really strong against an Obstagoon. I think you always say switch into Escavalier. And if you have a good Escavalier, I think this next match shows off first off, that one game against the Walrein where it survived the EQ, really showed off that having a good IV Escavalier can be really nice. And we're gonna have obviously this is a very bad lead for me. And they come in. Okay, so this is a good example of like I'm gonna try to throw on good timing. So I throw in the middle of the air slash there, and I'm gonna. Oh, actually, okay, it was actually a desync CMP, which is favored them, but that's okay, right? And then I'm gonna try to get the extra move in, or throw at 6 there. Is that CMP again? And they try to farm me down, but these good IVs end up paying off for me, and I'm able to land the Drill Run, and I'm actually able to take out the Crobat, which is super nice, especially since you're not allowed to have XL Crobat. And I'm just gonna charm as much as I can. They decide to throw the Ice Punch, and here comes I do expect it to be double poison. Polyrath double poison seems like a pretty strong team. I'm in a pretty good spot right now. They do have Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch definitely will not one-shot. I just pray that they don't have Acid Spray, because Shielding Acid Spray would be pretty bad for me. I do let Thunder Punch through because I'm gonna have to let one through anyway, so I just want to know how much damage it is, so whether or not I decide to bait or go for it. Decide to bait, and what I don't want to happen is that they can catch on Poliwrath, so I'm gonna bait again. And I'm just gonna throw right away, just before they can switch. And I'm not afraid of getting mud shotted down. even if they decide to catch and I decide to switch here. And I'm going to go for the full farm down. I can live 2 ice punches pretty easily. Yeah, I'm in a very favorable situation right now. I can easily live this next ice punch. And even if I didn't faint, I have an icicle spear ready. And I just want to preserve the shield. And I'm able to take them out. So, pretty nice games for me. And I believe this is the last game for this team, and then obviously I'll do some like fancy editing magic, and then you'll see we'll move on to the next team. Walrein into Crobat, Shadow Crobat. Obviously this is a very good matchup for me, and they come into Trevenant. Double weak to Walrein, but this is not the weakest Pokemon to Walrein. And I come into because they switched in, I'm able to switch out, take advantage of the turn difference, and they Seed Bomb me. But I'm in a very good spot here. They have enough for the Shadow Ball right here. I probably live the Shadow Ball, but I would end up giving up Switch. They end up Seed Bombing. There's no way they'll make it to the Shadow Ball because they'll faint to the 3rd charm, so they decide to throw the Seed Bomb. Basically right away, which is why I got a Charm Through. And actually getting the Charm Through was, in my opinion, worse for me because I would rather take 2 more Shadow Claws in. And I don't throw right away because first off, like I don't faint to 1 Air Slash, and then just in case they came into Escavalier because they need a better Walrein counter in the back. I decided to go there, and I'm in a very good spot right now. I let this draw run go because I can easily survive it. And worst case scenario is they try to catch, but they decide to just let it go. And I'm gonna throw the Icicle Spear. I think I undercharged this Icicle Spear. I maybe missed like 1 bubble there, but I'm in a really good spot right now. I'm gonna let this go. Maybe I debated actually being a little bit lower at this point in time, but the thing is that they can't. There's no way they can double up. And get to 2 draw runs. They get an extra counter there, invisible one, and I get my move doesn't show up, but I'm not at the move yet anyways, and I should be in a very good spot right now. And they're probably like 2 or 3 away from another draw run, and I'm able to land the draw run. And I really like this team. I think this is a very strong team. Like Sylveon is like a pretty good charmer to use. You could use like Obstagoon here as well. I think there's a few alternatives. I think the regular Walrein is probably just as good for this team composition. I don't think there's too many matchups that really changed. So I am looking 5-0. So let's go ahead and take a look at second team is Shadow Gliscor with Wing Attack and Night Slash and Earthquake, and then regular Walrein with Powder Snow, Icicle Spear, and Earthquake, and then Escavalier with Counter, Drill Run, and Mega Horn. Obviously, the biggest weakness for Gliscor in the meta is going to be Walrein. So you mirror for Say Switch. If they say switch to Walrein, then you go into Escavalier. Swampert is also pretty tough for this team because it does be the Gliscor and Escavalier, but Escavalier is not the worst matchup. So, and then it's actually regular Gliscor, not the Shadow one. So just ignore that. For some reason, I thought it was Shadow. Try to catch the Hydro Cannon. I'm not sure what they did there. Maybe they like lagged there and want to throw it anyways. So, and getting the move through. Machamp is also pretty bad for the back line. I throw the Icicle Spear at them, and as you can see, the Shadow would have. I end up like forcing them to throw, which is pretty nice for me. What's not so nice for me is that very likely they have a Payback, which is going to do a lot of damage. I'm going to go for the full farm down. I'm not going to throw here. I know they're going for the Payback. I'm going to let them. I really need this Earthquake to be able to potentially win this game. But the Payback ended up doing huge damage. I throw the EQ. It is a Shadow Swampert, but unfortunately they do just barely survive. And I'm not able to counter down beforehand. So maybe what I should did here was bait, especially with 2 shields up. I do have like a Night Slash stored because I do go to 100 energy on Gliscor, but this is looking pretty rough for me. The Shadow Gliscor actually would have been able to KO. Tried to call the bait there. I didn't really see too much win con for me. This should be a Seed Bomb. If I get the boost here, and then maybe I'm able to farm down and farm down both, but I don't end up getting the boost there. I end up getting another Shadow Claw through. Even if I boost here, it wouldn't matter because I would be too low at this point in time. But and they're basically gonna be able to Shadow Claw me down. I do try to maybe I can wing attack down, but there was not really any chance there. So obviously very tough lead there. Okay, so Toxicroak, this is very good for me. Obviously Toxicroak is quite bad for my back line. It definitely beats the two in the back. They may try to make a nice so I let this go. They're Sludge Bomb. They try to CMP time me. So I think I throw 3 more than throw. Yeah, I threw 3 more than throw. Basically I'm at 100 right now. Or 91 or 98, maybe 98. Yeah, 98, and then I decide to switch here and actually come into Typhlosion, which is I really should have mirrored, but I kind of like panic. I knew that they're gonna have a hard counter to Gliscor in the back. I do get the move through here, so I lose CMP, so I don't throw the Night Slash right away. I'm gonna do 2 wing attacks and then kind of decide from there. I get 2 wing attacks in. I actually get the boost here, which was I really needed last game, but get the boost. And they decide to build up some additional energy here. I could shield this and attempt to farm down, but they're already at 2 and I want to be behind, so I have to shield this. And I think they thought they could get to another one because they resist the powder snows, but then they end up being the mistake on their side. I throw the EQ. I actually connect with the EQ, which is pretty nice. You need to land 2 EQs regardless in this situation. So I decided to shield. Unlikely that they bait the first time, but who really knows here? It's just the bait game is what it is, right? And this, like, their EQ doesn't KO anyway. So I decided not to bait. I feel pretty good because I'm slightly ahead on energy. I actually get another Power Snow through there, which is pretty nice. They definitely can't catch at this point in time, but it's pretty close. I decide to EQ right away here because I noticed that we actually have desync, and it's very likely they can catch with the desync, and I should be able to powder snow them down. They need 2 more incinerate, so kind of big mistake on my side not say switching into the wall rain. So I go straight to wall rain, and again obviously it's pretty bad for me. They actually come to Sylveon here, so this is quite good for me. They have maybe they have like a Trevenant in the back as their like second anti-fighter, because Walrein beats Sylveon in everything but the 0 shield, and especially with an energy advantage, like there's just like no way. This is why, like in Ultra League, where Pokemon are bulkier, like fast move pressure is like way less prevalent. Because if this was Great League, I would have got Charmed down. But because Pokemon are way bulkier, these like charge move pressure is like way more important. And I should have farmed down here, to be honest, because I could definitely survive that next charm. I do have a rank 7 Walrein, so you definitely would have survived that next charm, but I decided to play it safe. I tried to convince him that it was going to get to the EQ, but no, to no avail. And I go to Escavalier. I'm not going to shield this. I want to preserve the shield. Plus, there's a chance that they bait, and I think they try to catch the drill run. And I throw the Mega Horn here, maybe a mistake, but the Gliscor matchup is good. And then I'm gonna farm down. They're definitely not at 2 Weather Balls. I think they disbanked 1, and I should be able to farm down here. And I'm only 3 away. And they should be like 5 away from second one. I get a move through, but that didn't really matter too much. And And as you can see here, even double super effective, the fast move pressure is still not enough to take me out, and I'm able to farm down there and win the game. So again, pretty tough lead, but I was able to come out of this. So this is a very awkward matchup between these two. I think we get some lag somewhere in this matchup. And I'm not gonna throw. I should have threw at CMP. I don't know why I didn't here. I get rewarded for my mistake with the extra wing attack there, but that's okay. And I throw the EQ, and I'm in a pretty good spot right now. I definitely live the next Night Slash. It's not too big a deal because this Night Slash doesn't KO. And unfortunately, they lagged a turn there. But again, it doesn't make too big a difference because I'm not going to get countered down. I would easily live 2 more counters. And I'm in a pretty good spot right now. I do land the Night Slash onto them. And I go into Escavalier, and they come into Drifblim. And it doesn't really matter here from a shielding decision, because 2 shield wall rain definitely beats Drifblim in any shielding scenario. I decided to shield here, but it really didn't matter. I easily outpaced the Drifblim to 3 charge moves, and even like double debuff, I put it low enough that I could just counter it down with Escavalier, and I'm able to actually get to the move beforehand. Unfortunate hard counter for them. Maybe they could have safe switched into Venusaur, just because Venusaur Gliscor matchup is actually favorable for Venusaur, but so this is a good matchup for me as well. I am a little bit worried that they're gonna get payback. They try to make a very nice play there and try to catch on to the Crobat, which actually would have been really nice there. But I was gonna wait for them to throw first regardless, and I get the V-Sync CMP, which is pretty nice for me. Undercharge because I actually want to take another Poison Fang, and I'm gonna let this go. I was actually a little bit worried that they're gonna go for the Shadow Ball because I think they went 1 over and then through. Honestly, if they would have went for the Shadow Ball there, I actually would have been in a little bit of trouble. I throw the Icicle Spear, which doesn't KO the Shadow Machamp, even though it's at like 40% health. And this is what I like about Ultra League. Pokemon are way bulkier, provides a lot more flexibility here. And they actually go for the farm down, which is pretty nice. But I'm going to throw the Night Slash. And I actually believe they no-shield this, which is a very nice call by them. Because honestly, I could have EQ'd there, but it was really unlikely. And I'm not entirely sure what they're doing there, because I guess they only got to like a Shadow Punch there, or maybe they have, I'm not too sure, but I'm in a really good spot regardless, and I'm able to counter down, and I'm able to take out their Pokemon here. So I really like Gliscor in this meta. It beats a lot of the counter users. Obviously very weak to Walrein, a little bit weak to Charm, which I think is going to be a little bit common in the meta, but it beats the counter users, it beats Trevenant, which is pretty solid. Obviously you have to protect against Walrein, but I think they're very flexible. I think both these teams that I'm featuring are really strong. Definitely teams that if you play it well, should be able to climb with. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you like, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.